Hi, it's Jane from the Compassion Project. I'm here with Wayne Lee. Say hi, Wayne.
Hey everyone.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here with Wayne today. He is an incredible person. He is from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and he has an unrelenting passion for empowering people. So he's going to help me today. He, Wayne is a peak performance expert, a Hall of Fame speaker, and an award-winning entertainer. He has done over 6,000 shows, honestly. That's amazing. So he has helped people from all over the globe realize that self-limiting beliefs in their subconscious mind keep them from reaching their full potential. And today, Wayne is going to take me through a process called the Aligned Mind Method to help me get out of my own way. Because, yeah, I know I have a lot of blocks and fears, and Wayne and I were talking, and I believe everyone has greatness in that we all can add so much value to the world. And so I thought, I need help. So thank
Don't
you
we
for
all?
coming.
Oh, Jane, thank you for having me. It's Jane and Wayne. It's the Jane and Wayne show today.
Yeah, really.
So
Yep.
cool. So awesome. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be on again. I know that I always love to share what I love to do. Probably that's what's led me into doing 6,000 presentations and having so much fun at it. So I'm excited to work with you and see where it goes, so everybody can um, kind of take a piece of the fact that what you said is that we all have greatness. In fact, it's our greatness that's always letting us know that we're either tapped into it or we're turned off from it. And we're never turned completely off from it, other than we feel that we're going through emotional states that let us know, it's a sign, it's a signal that we're not completely aligned to who we are. That greatness, full potential, those are synonymous. And it's a blessing to have those little signals and signs of negativity that let us know that we're not aligned. And we can talk a little bit more about it, but more than that, actually show it in terms of how it works. And one of the things that I feel so blessed to do is, even though I've been hypnotizing people for years and it looks like I'm putting people to sleep, I'm actually helping people wake up, and wake up to two things. One, an understanding of their unlimited power and potential that is always within a container, a perfect system, their mind, body, heart, and soul. And sometimes we get into the language patterns of, like, I'm self-sabotaging, or, my mind is always doing this to me. And we're actually fighting what is happening in our holistic container of who we are, our whole being. What I mean by that is that our mind is perfect, our body is perfect, we are perfect. And when we jump off of from a point of perfection, we then start to create at a higher level from a place of joy, freedom, and love. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to go through fear. We may even have more instances, but we know what it means. And then the second part to empowerment is really about people understanding and then applying the understanding to alignment. And alignment is where people are aligned to who they really are, whole, complete, and perfect, and moving forward from there. And when people don't think they're enough, or they feel like they have to be proving themselves, or they need for approval, they will always move forward from that place and vibrate at that level, so they continually attract that. So they'll feel the lack. So I say, just surrender to the fact that you're perfect already. And I also know people on this call that are watching right now are feeling some trepidation with that, because they have a belief that they need to do something in order to feel happy, complete, and perfect. And I'm giving people permission, and myself, to always remember that you're that already. It's being that already, and then creating the life, because we've come here to create a life that we love. It's an adventure. Life is not a problem to be solved. All those things that really let us know that when we remember who we are, and we have glimpses of God, call that glimpses of God or glimpses of source, however you want to say it, it's those moments of where we just feel free, we feel alive. Those are the magical moments that we're looking for. Those are the magical moments that are always happening, and yet we're either suppressing them, or not allowing them to happen, or not celebrating them, not being grateful. And so we're not experiencing that. And when you get in alignment, you're just going into that place where you feel more alive and you're creating and performing from that place.
So when you say alignment, are you like getting in that quiet place, the inner, out of our brain? Because our brains, I know you say our brains are perfect, but mine's a little busy.
Of course it is.
Sure. And so think, and then so alignment would be when your brain is, your thoughts are in line with your inner.
I say that, deep within your heart, there's a magical spark. I know that may be a little bit woo-woo for people. Yeah,
deep within your heart is a magical spark?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. So
that spark is always letting you know that you are wanting something and that you're desiring, whether it's, some of the areas would be health, finances, wealth, relationships, happiness, fun. And that's always letting you know that that's the core coming from your heart. And when you align the thoughts that are in acceptance and agreement, then that's where the magic happens. Because alignment doesn't mean sitting and meditating or doing one thing. Alignment is our natural state. And I'll just clarify, is that we're hardwired for harmony, which is alignment. We are designed to align, which is feeling good.
Right.
So that's alignment, is always letting you know that you feel good. So sometimes people get caught up in the aspect that I got to do this, and this, should, and it's carrying a belief that is incongruent to just being. So meditation gets you into a state where you're aligned. Running, moving your body gets you into a state where you're aligned. And it's not one thing. It is anything that you do that gets yourself to feel good and that you're not feeling like you're lacking something or in the void trying to get something.
Right. I always feel like it's like that, they call it your guidance system, are your feelings.
Yeah.
If you're feeling sad or someone said something that upsets you and the feeling's not good, then what I'm trying to do, because it happens to all of us, I think we can all feel good. And then we go out in the world and something happens and you're like, oh, now I don't feel good. Someone said something that upset me. So I'm trying really hard to be aware of, oh, that thought, I got to change.
Right.
And think of something that'll bring me joy. So I've really tried to practice, I guess that's staying in alignment. Try.
Yeah, no, it is. And like the word try usually has a connotation that I'll try to do it. It's forecasting failure, that I'm going to try or I'll try to do it. So it depends on the energy level. But words are only as good as the meanings that we attach to them, and more importantly, the experiences that they lead to. So words are very powerful. Hypnotic languaging. I've been a hypnotist for years, and it's learning how those words and the use of those words can get you into alignment and noticing what your triggers are, those disciplines, those automatic things that happen every day that you're in reaction. One thing I want to clarify is, and one thing I really want to say and clarify that what I'm not preaching is that people need to feel good or people need to, don't fight it. Whatever you're feeling, it is perfect. And when people get caught up in the spiral of, I need to feel this way, and we talked on this before we went live here, about we all have certain beliefs or certain identities where, for myself, when I was growing up, I felt like I was the peacemaker, the fun, likable Wayne. And I had to fill that role. And if I wasn't in that, I'm not going to be loved. I'm not going to be accepted. And that means that Wayne always has to be a certain way, or I'll never be angry because angry is bad. Your emotions, welcome them all.
Yeah.
Sad is the same emotion that opens up the door as happy is the emotion that opens up the door for more. And when people welcome and just become in tune to what they're feeling and feeling it in their body, they can always transcend that feeling. They can always feel better by thinking better, moving their body, so many different tools to get people into alignment. But what I want people to know is that they're already whole, complete, and perfect. And the acceptance of that is a starting place.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm whole, complete, and perfect. Good.
We're done. We're finished.
Yay. Yeah, so.
Did you want to go through the process, the Align Mind method, and I can take you through it?
Yeah, because just to give people maybe an idea of me, maybe self-limiting beliefs, we all have
Mhm.
them. And we all go through a lot in our lives, and I really see that teenage years where I struggled, and I have a lot of blocks. And I just feel like I want to do something great in the world. I want to make a difference, and I'll be all gung ho and super keen and up early and doing my positive working out, and then I'll just crash and I get unmotivated and sad. And then I question why I'm doing even the compassion project that we're on right now.
Mhm.
Um, and I would love to have help with not getting to that down place where I get so unmotivated and I don't know why.
Right. And we talked a bit about that on the call, and just for all the viewers and all the people seeing it, it all starts at asking one question. What is it that you want? And so, from what you told me, you want to feel motivated more consistently, and I'm making sure that I'm relaying this back to you so you can clarify, because really you've given me all the information that I need in regards to taking you to a place where you align. Does that make sense? And then
Yeah.
more than that, after this, you'll never need me to do it. You just have an understanding like, oh, this is what I'm doing to myself. This is what's happening within me that I can shift, that I can change. And it's always a choice to do that, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. But the more you become aware of that, to get yourself into a state where you feel more consistently motivated, then it replaces the hindrance or the interference that was blocking you before. Does that make
Okay.
sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the first question. It's a 5 steps to this, and the first question is, what is it you want? So in your words, tell me what you want.
What I want out of my life or compassion project or
And see, that's the great place to start, is that it's a very general question, right? And so this works with everything. It could be a very specific goal. I want more money. I want to weigh my ideal weight. I'm just using those are specific, tangible goals, or it can be a quality. It can be a feeling. And for you, when we talked, it was like, I want to feel less of this and more of this, correct?
yeah.
And in your words, you were talking about, specifically the compassion project, which is, the evidence is out there, Jane. I mean, it is making such a difference. People are getting so much great value. I've loved being on here. People know that, but that does not matter to what's going on in your mind and your being. Make sense? So what's
Yeah.
going on is, at times you were telling me, like, and the words that you're using is, why do I think people are even going to listen to this? So there's doubt there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Insecurities in, this is something that I'm doing and I'm obviously very passionate about it. And I want to make a difference, but yeah, insecurities creep in. And I just hate doubting what I'm doing. And so I want to be able to be aware of maybe the thoughts that are causing me to be insecure. And I'm like, no, I need to be
Yeah.
like,
Gotcha. So when you're feeling that doubt, describe it to me, just so I have something to go on in terms of description of what your experience is.
Doubt in, because sometimes I'm really gung ho, I'm so into it, and everything's flowing. I can just feel that people like it, and so I feel confident about it. And then other days, maybe I won't have a chat coming up, or it gets a little slow, and so then I can get unmotivated because I start to doubt, like, does anyone even want to do this? But it's my own doubts. And I have to keep motivated and working and reaching out to people and connecting with people. So there's a lot of work that goes behind it.
Yep.
And so I don't like that I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to end it. No one cares.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And my husband's the one that says, no, Jane, like, you are making a difference. You've told me you've helped people. And
Right.
so he'll try to get me back. And I'm like, all right. And then I'll call Wayne.
And here we are going through this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So cool. So in a moment, what I'll do is I will gauge you where you're at with regards to that level of, and what I call that is resistance. The resistance that is knocking against your wonderful greatness, the greatness of what you want to have this compassion project. And, you can fine tune my words right now, but the compassion project that reaches a lot of people, that makes a difference. And you know this to be true. And yet there are times where you feel like that voice, and you said it, that's what's going through your head is, why do I think people are going to even listen to this? Would that be correct? Is that what it is?
Okay. You sort of doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you sort of doubt yourself, which I think, yeah, it's just doubting yourself. I wish I was believed in myself more.
So there we go. So we've got this, believed in yourself more. And you were even telling me before, like, it's nice to know where everything comes from, like as far as where you picked that up along the way. But we all pick up these beliefs that create limits for us. But the beautiful thing is that they always let us know that we're on or off course, because we're not aligned to who we are in the moment. So with regards to that, the doubt and lack of belief, what you would like is to be believing in yourself, feeling confident, feeling self-assured, all those things, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I want to stay up. I want to stay on the up, not. We all want to stay in that up state and have.
So we're going to start there. You want to stay in the up state consistently. Okay, we've narrowed it down. We've extracted that from you. That all came from you. I saw your eyes shifted. You were imagining it. So in a moment, I'm going to actually get you to close your eyes. And this is, what we call going into the brilliant gift of your imagination. Your imagination always allows you to create the future. So will you play with me on this?
Yeah.
Will you work with me? Okay, cool.
Let's do it.
So right now, I want you to just close your eyes and imagine that you're in that up state, and you no longer question yourself. In fact, you know that you're giving great value, that people are benefiting a tremendous amount with the compassion project. And you just see yourself consistently there. And even if there was times that weren't way up there and always there, because like you told me, is that, Jane growing up was a person that needed to be fun Jane, and you have to fit that. But this is just about being even keel, knowing that consistently there's a steadiness of being up and knowing that that is happening. And I want you right now just to see what you see, feel what you feel, hear what you hear, and just step right into that. When you've got a good picture, a good feeling of that, and maybe it's even a moving picture, just nod your head when you're satisfied with it. Okay, now open your eyes. Come back into the room. Jane, you didn't want to come back, right?
No.
Okay, cool. So, and the people that are watching right now, they probably have already seen a shift in terms of just your glow, just going into your imagination, correct? I'm not looking for validation from you, but how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel good. So because it was fun, and I know how I want to feel and how I want this to be, and I know how I want to make a difference, and yeah, it made me feel good.
So what you've done is you've chose your result of what you want. Again, it's a quality of how you want to feel, correct? And it's based on the compassion project. Now, with that feeling comes along, you forecasted with your brilliant imagination. And I'm actually talking this through just so people understand what's going on here. Usually on sessions that I do one-on-one on that, I would do that, yet it's more for the people that are watching right now, their benefit in terms of how this is all working.
Because people could use this for losing weight or
for anything in their life, any goal. It could be a business goal, it could be, what's stopping them from writing that book that they want to write, whatever their creative project is, where they want to get in really great shape, or if they have one or more passion in their relationships, it's always within them that they're getting in their own way. So there's a doubt, there's a self-limiting belief that you have, and we don't even have to go into great detail, but you told me some of the languaging that's coming up for you, and you presented it. No mystery, it's right there. So now, my question is, because you forecasted it into your future and you've chosen what your result is, or you want it to be. My question is, right here, right now, and we're in this room together. This is called your current reality. Going to where you just were. I want you to tell me, just now tell me, how much resistance there is in making that happen. Is there any resistance that happens to you right now? 10 being like, the resistance would be like, there's no way I'll be that. Like, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be fairly doubtful through the rest of my life doing this, and I'll always have that. Like, I mean, you're resisting yourself to such a great degree, it's like a brick wall. That's a roadblock that we're talking about. 1 would be like, no, it's going to happen. Like, I've already done it. Like, it's going to flow. And here's where you have to be super honest, not to please me or anybody on the call, but just super honest with yourself, because that honesty is letting you know that there's no thing of, I have to feel this way. It's just about what is true to you right now. What's the resistance that comes up to you if you had to gauge it on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being like full blown resistance. I won't get there. It's a nice idea. 1 is like, I can feel the flow right now.
7.
So you got a level of 7 resistance, correct?
Yeah, because it came up instantly. I could feel it. This block that's like, well, maybe there's just this fun little thing I'm doing during the pandemic, and it'll become nothing. But I want.
So this is beautiful, and I get really excited about this. Okay, and this is your perfection in action. First of all, I'm not doing a whole lot other than extracting information from you in this perfect ecosystem of who you are. Okay. And the fact that you told me what you want means that you've got such a heartfelt desire that is something that you can achieve, that you can be. And here's the thing. You also know within you, there's something that's blocking you, because you knew right away it's a 7. And you just already told it to all of us of what it is. So would it be helpful for you to go to a 2, to a 3 even? How about a 1 or a full-blown 0? So you feel like you've opened the floodgates.
Oh yeah, if I knew that I could take this, because I mean, we all know this is something I do to my heart. Mm-hmm. It's nothing to do with money. I don't have any ties to anything. I want to make a difference, and I am so rewarded when I've chatted with someone that I know I've made a difference, and when they've shared their story, I feel so good. So to be able to take this where so many people know that they're not alone, and that there's so many people even globally be like, oh, part of this, and I would feel so excited, and nothing would stop me. But I feel like I'm almost like, oh, it could end in a month, and I don't. So that's why I felt that block. I'm like,
perfect. So and this is great because you're living it right here, and everybody that's watching this can see this, which is very helpful for them to realize how we all create structure within ourselves that blocks our progression, that stops us, which shows up in the form of hesitation, fear, procrastination, and it becomes very frustrating. So we're going to release this for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
You'll never be able to go back to who you were being before, okay?
Okay. All right.
And one important thing is that I just asked you, are you okay with this? Are you ready? That's asking permission for you to do it, to be more brilliant of who you are. So it comes down from, in every change that we make in life, it comes down to a decision. Whether we're conscious of it or not, whether we're highly inspired and we're like, I'm going to do that, there's self-talk, there's a picture, and it's a moment decision that things shift and change. So me just asking you that, saying, are you ready? You give yourself, there was a little hesitation, then you're like, okay, yes.
Well, because you said, are you ready to let your brilliance shine? And I had this like
who am I?
Yeah, like
who are you not to, right? So let's get on with this. This is very mathematical. This is why I love this process, because it takes you from the 7 to whatever it's going to show up. And I'm not going to put a number in your head. I'm just saying it's going to lessen. I know this to be true. Okay. And then you'll feel that, and then you'll be able to have a little tool and a little discipline that you can use every day, so it becomes a habit. Because let's face it, and I want to explain that all habits are held at the subconscious, something that we've repeatedly done, created some meaning around, and then we repeat it, and then it becomes habit through reps. So this is the same thing, but this initial part is just about shifting into this place of being more of who you are. So my question now is, you don't have to be anything else than who you are. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to change your mind. You just have to be more of who you are. So if you were to say, finish the sentence, I choose to be more confident. I choose to be more self-assured. I choose to be more consistently motivated. What is it for you that resonates in what I just said? Because I've dialed into what you do want. Now, what statement resonates the most?
I choose to be, the word that came to mind is disciplined. I don't know why.
And does that feel right for you?
Because I feel like, I don't know if is it disciplined?
Let's start
I don't
off.
want to say,
Let's
I don't
start
want
off
to say
because now you're thinking about it. So let's start off with just what I talked about. I choose to be more brilliant. I choose to be more brilliant.
Okay. I choose to be more brilliant. Okay, let's do that.
Okay. And I noticed the resistance that's coming up. But again, I just want to, from an intellectual standpoint, I want to tell you, we're conversing. You just have to be yourself. And who you are is brilliant. Bouncing off from a standing point of perfect, whole, and complete is who you are. And you just become more of that. So you choose to do that. That's your choice, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just explaining it for the sense of explain it to the people that are watching.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a moment, I'm going to get you to close your eyes, and this is what I'm going to take you through, which has been my signature thing I've done for years on stage in live events, called the Magical Color Association.
Okay.
Okay. So
let's do it.
You're going to feel awesome. You're going to feel amazing, and you'll notice a shift afterwards, and you'll tell me from that 7 of resistance where you are after this. Okay.
Okay.
So just close your eyes. Perfect. And as you keep your eyes closed, Jane, I want you to take a deep breath in. Let it out the side. Let all the stress, tension, anything that you feel in your body, just to relax. And breathing is just a wonderful form and it's actually the first step to clearing any stress and tension in your body, your mind, and just to be aligned to who you are. And as you breathe in deeply, now just close and keep it going in terms of the breath going in and out. And know this. Now that you're nice and relaxed, nice and peace, you don't have to feel a certain way. Just be right there is perfect. I want you to know this, that deep within your heart, there's a magical spark that lights the fire of your imagination. That's what we just went through. That magical spark is your unlimited potential, your greatness, and your imagination is your plan-making department. It allows you to see the future like you just did before you've even achieved it. And just sit with that. And the feeling of being more of who you are in regards to being more disciplined, feeling more self-assured, more consistently confident is always there. I call it, at the heart of it, bliss. That's where you're just in tune with your bliss and everything else blossoms from there. Bliss. So as you're doing this right now and you're feeling a sense of deep relaxation, this is going to get really good. On the count of 3, I want you to feel as though you've already achieved what you want in regards to the result that you wanted. Letting that doubt, letting that limiting belief that once served you just to let go, and you're going to feel bliss. This bliss is what we were talking about in all the words that you used, to feel up more consistently, to feel amazing more often, and to know in your heart that you've made a great difference with the Compassion Project and that people are getting tons of value and joy and people are loving it. On the count of 3, I want you to feel that in your heart of hearts and keep your eyes closed, but just notice how it feels in your body. On the count of 3. 1, you can taste it, touch it, and feel it. 2, it's becoming a part of you. It is you. On this next count, just bathe in the emotion of bliss. It happens now. 3. Notice how good that feels. So amazing. And on the count of 3, that bliss even gets bigger. Goes from every muscle, nerve, and fiber of your body, and it feels super fantastic. 1, you can taste it, touch it, and feel it. 2, it's in every muscle, nerve, and fiber of your body. It's swirling throughout your whole body as energy. And on this next count, keep your eyes closed and feel even more. Happens now. 3. And notice how good you feel. Notice how light that feels. And notice that there's a color to that feeling. Whatever color comes to mind right now, Jane, just think of the color. And feel the feeling of bliss. Beauty, love, intention, strength, and serenity. Fully aligned, fully complete, always have been, always will. And now you be more of that. And you give up the need for any having to be a certain way. You just be brilliant. And you beam out your bliss. Think of the color, feel the feeling. And from this day forward, anytime you think of that color, you feel so much of that you are it. And you just stay consistently with that. At any time you feel maybe a little off course, little interference, you just think of the color and boom, bam, shazam, it feels good. You want more of that color, more of that feeling? It's in your heart. It always has been. All you have to do is activate it. Put your hands to your heart now and keep your hands to your heart. Now breathe that. Think of your color. And notice there's a pop in your body. And the pop is not the pop you drink. It's the pulse of perfection, the pulse of power. And it's the point of present. That's who you are, always have been, and you jump off from that point. And from this day forward, anytime you think of that color and put your hands to your heart, boom, bam, shazam. That's a technical saying. And you feel so good. And on the count of 3, you'll open your eyes. You'll feel wonderfully refreshed, totally recharged. You'll tell us how you're feeling, what you went through. And again, for the next 20 to 30 days, the more you think of that color, put your hand to your heart, the more you stay consistent with your beingness of bliss. 1, feeling fantastic. 2, like your whole body's been washed with crystal clear water. On this next count, eyes open, awake, aware, and you'll feel great. And it happens now. 3, eyes open. And come back into the room.
Oh my goodness. That was, I almost feel like I went to sleep, but that was amazing. I saw like the brightest, most brilliant color of yellow, like just like,
okay.
Like,
so that is awesome. I was going to ask you what color it is, because color always means something. I mean, if you research color, I mean, you look at the colors of a rainbow, and people will say to me, they'll say, what does that color mean? It wasn't even my favorite color. It just came to me. It's that inner infinite intelligence, your life field that you're always tapped into, your subconscious, your GPS, great programmable subconscious, all of those things. It's just letting you know. So the color yellow, you just lit up. So how does yellow feel to you? Because when the color comes to you, it just means accept it as that's the color you need to see right now. And that's one of those anchors, one of those triggers that when you see yellow, how does that feel?
Yeah, I feel brighter. I feel like when you first started that and thinking of the color, I could just see the sun like so bright, like, and I wouldn't have thought I would have chosen yellow. It is not.
Yeah.
I would have pink maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel brighter, more alive, I guess.
And do you know that yellow is a representation of your power center, like the solar plexus?
No.
And it just means owning your stuff, owning who you are, being brilliant, and confidence. Yeah. So tell me, when you think of the color, you feel good, but now on a physical level, and here's something that may be going counter to what some people think, is that our minds and bodies are not one. Our mind-body connection is whole and complete. Being a wrestler that wrestled for years, we have this muscle memory, and then we can use science to say, well, here's how it works. All I know is that when you can feel things viscerally in your body, that's your mind and one together. It's all one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
put your hand to your heart, because there's a coherence from your heart, which is always a radiant energy. That helps you connect more so to who you are. So how does that feel when your hands are your heart right now?
It feels good. It feels warm, loving. I actually got goosebumps when I was doing that. Just like I got when my eyes were closed and you took me through that, I felt this tingling like.
Yeah, that was the air conditioner. I'm kidding. Yeah.
No air conditioner on, but I did feel this like
Yeah.
awakening or something in me that was like.
That's your intelligence. That's your inner being. That's who you are. You're connected to it. And those moments where you feel that hair standing up, the thrill bumps, all of that is just you connecting to more of who you are. And sometimes we doubt that, but it's just like me saying, that's the air conditioner. Don't worry about that. It's just like, no, that's you. Those are those moments you want to create. So now the test, the real test, because it's great to talk about these great, fuzzy, funny, fun feelings. But tell me, where you were before, you were at a 7 of resistance. I want you to be honest with this in terms of thinking of your color, putting your hand to your heart, and tell me where you are right now when you think of, obviously, where you want to be there. Where's the resistance now?
I would say 3.
Yeah. And is that true to you?
Yeah, because I actually, I feel different. I feel
and if I'm
like I can do it. I could. I'm not. I don't feel a 1, but I definitely feel that a 7 was insecurity
and from an intellectual standpoint, here's the thing that happens. A lot of people will surprise themselves because they're like, they can't even get back to that 7. Things have shifted. You've created such a powerful shift just by doing that. Now what I want you to do is run it through it a couple of times. I want you to do this. Think of your color right now, put your hand to your heart, and just posture. And do this again. Do it a few times where you really get yourself spinning that feeling. So what you focus upon expands, and what you're focusing upon feels good. And the more that you do that, it's replacing what you felt before. In fact, because it's what you're aligned to is who you are. So breathe in, and let me ask you a question. 3 might be perfect for you, but what would it take for you to get to a 2 or a 1? What do you think?
Practicing this every day, and whenever I feel insecure or get down, if I do this and see the color and practice it so that it actually becomes ingrained in my subconscious mind, that I automatically just feel that way.
Yeah.
Because you have to, I do know that we have to, for something to be effective, we actually have to make it a habit that it is in our subconscious mind. Because if you just do it now and don't do it again, then, so I have to practice it every day, like you would practice gratitude or practice.
Yeah, but here's, and that is so perfect in terms of what you just said. The practice will then propel you to prepare yourself, obviously, when those moments come that you may have experienced that. But right now, the really cool thing is that you've already taken that 7 resistance all the way down to a 3. And what it's saying is that it'll probably never, ever get back up to a 7, because you've already shifted in that process through your imagination and really feeling it. The feeling is important, is to make that shift. And you said it so great in terms of the description of what you feel when you thought of yellow and when you put your hands to your heart. So continually getting yourself to feel that just reminds you of who you are. And so you will be more in that state. And you're right, it'll become a habit. But the cool thing right off the bat is you already made a shift. And if you did nothing else, you wouldn't go back to that 7.
Wow. That's incredible. Honestly, I've woke up.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
It does.
More alive, or maybe more knowing that self-doubt is.
And I just call that being aligned, is being aligned, And aligned is the acronym I have for align. It's where all life or love is generated now. All love is growing now. All love is generated new. You align, do nothing else to just that alignment in each and every day, you're there. Some people think that
Wow.
they're missing out because they need to do this, they need to do that. You don't need to do anything yet. Just be. Choose to be in alignment. Choose to be brilliant and blossom that bliss.
So anyone that, I mean, I love that we used this as an example, because right now, the Compassion Project is something that I spend a lot of time on. It's a huge focus for me. And I am very compassionate about it.
Yes.
I want people to know that, like, so, because so many people have different things they're going through, they can use this, like, say just to clarify,
Yep.
say I had something else like that I was dealing with, and I thought, would I still go to the color yellow, or do you have to do, say I had a completely different issue that I wanted to help with, do you have to?
The cool thing about it is that you can, and it may be the yellow is perfect for each individual, yet this is so complete in and of itself, in the sense that if you have something that is a health issue, and that health issue is something that we can all pinpoint exactly what people want, going through this, running through this method, this process, in and of itself, a different color may come to you. So it's great to say, hey, if I have this one color and I've really focused upon this, this is great for that. So, and that's a great question. Down the road, I have, and I want to get it out to the world, where it's called the 21-day focus fix. And it's specifically for that. It's for one thing that you want to work on, no matter what it is. And you work on it. And when you tend to stay more disciplined on one thing and you see the results in that area, then you apply it to all areas, and you just apply that method. A different color might come to you. So then it becomes really intelligent of a trigger for that area, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So, because I want people because I just want people to know that, like, if they are struggling, like whether it's self-esteem, or they've lost a job, or they're having family issues, marital issues, or single, anything, that they can use this. It's really, empowering. So visualizing and feeling how you would feel if you already have it. I think that was really...
That's the key, is assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Somebody that I studied over the years, Neville Goddard, he wrote a bunch of wonderful, amazing books that really focused upon feeling is the secret. Feeling is our intelligence of being, in terms of what's happening in our body. We can always notice it. And feeling is our greatest indicator of whether we're being who we are, which is whole, complete, and perfect. And you can always get yourself back into it. So when you can fast forward into that place through your imagination to where you want to be, and you can be it now and you feel it, that's where the shift happens, is knowing that that intelligence within you has made it, as you felt it, and it becomes ingrained. And that visceral experience is what you want to, you've set the bar, is what you've done.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and you can do that in anything, but a lot of times people will get stuck in the self-limiting belief. Like, say, for instance, for you, as an example, you might get stuck on the fact that you say, this is what's holding me back. And you know that, and you continually focus on it. And just knowing about it doesn't mean that it's going to be released. When you go to the future and you go to a place where you're doing it all now anyhow, but it's through your imagination, and you think, this is how I want to feel, you already put yourself in a place of positive focus. And through the law of the mind and the law of focus, what you focus upon expands. That's the first shift. So for people to answer that question, what do I want? Very powerful question that's so simple at times, it's elusive. Because so many people are continually playing out the story of what they don't want, or what their problems, what their challenges are. And I say that's a beautiful indication of what's stopping you. Now ask the question, what do you want?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Unbelievable. That was really powerful. You're incredible. So
Thanks, Jane.
Thank you for coming on and doing this with me. Honestly, yellow. I'm going to.
See, your state already shifts. Like when, you do that, you don't have to think about it. It's an automatic response that you shift your state just from being aligned.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel super blessed that you came on and did this with me. Honestly, it was amazing. So how can people reach you if people want to know more about it?
Cool.
We'll put a link in the comments.
Yeah, for sure. Like on Facebook, I've created my private group, which is Conscious Creators. And it's really about how people can create from a place of more love, freedom, and joy, and doing it in a way where they create more of the life they want, the life they love. So it's people that really are tuned into already doing that. It's a great supportive group. They can, come to Facebook, want to request that, I can put them in there. And then eventually, and then just my website, waynelee.com. But I'm in the process of building so many things behind the scenes. My book, The Aligned Mind, the course, 21-Day Focus Fix, which will lead into a whole year program, which I just feel, this is my calling. This is me getting it out. And during this time, I looked at it as like, oh my goodness, it's a wake up call for me, kind of a nudge to go get this out to the world. So, and the great thing is that empowerment is really about people waking up to their own brilliance and just being that. It's not about me changing or fixing anyone. The only thing that needs to be fixed is their focus, is where they focus their attention.
You're basically just giving people their own power to make changes.
True empowerment.
Does it work with someone that's not well? If someone was going through a disease, just trying to heal too, does it help? It must help.
It does. And I can talk about my own experience. And I want to also just be really upfront that I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not going to make any outrageous claims. But I know through my story of where things shifted for me and I woke up to my inner power is when I was involved in the sport of amateur wrestling. It was a love. My goal was to make the Olympics. I had a very serious neck injury. It was a chronic neck injury that ended up in partial paralysis, herniated discs in my neck, and I couldn't even pick up anything, stingers and burners. That's what the term of how it felt. And the doctor said to me, this is when I was 18, said, Wayne, you need surgery. It's not going to regenerate. There's nothing you can do about it. And it was depressing in the sense that, oh my goodness, but there was something within me that just didn't buy that. And it's not like I knew and had all the answers yet. When I started to take some time just to relax and not, try and practice anymore and go out, and I started to visualize. And it wasn't like I was visualizing like my body healing. I was visualizing what I love to do, wrestling. And I felt this visceral response, which is the feel it part of what you just did. And we all have it. We can experience it every day throughout the day. But I was feeling it, and I was feeling a great sense of positivity and a great sense of actual aliveness. And as time went on, I was scheduled for the surgery, I think 6 months down the road, because it was like, this is when you get in. And I had a tremendous amount of time just to kind of reflect, but more than that, feel my body heal.
Wow.
And so leading up to that time, about a month before the surgery, I said, I don't think I need it. And I was making a recovery. The neurosurgeon actually did some prep work beforehand and says, you don't need surgery, Wayne. And so it was reaffirming. There was something that went on at that point. It was a real wake up and said, it was hard for me to articulate, but we have such a tremendous healing power within ourselves. And that healing power is the same power that allows us to create the life that we love.
Yeah.
And when we align to it, magic happens. And so there's people that have made tremendous shifts in their own way by healing themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't mean by any means not to look. I think use what works. Main thing is that for people to realize how much responsibility or how much ability to respond that they have by connecting to who they are to heal themselves in amazing ways. And healing isn't meaning fixing. It's actually, the acronym I have for HEAL is harmonious energy allowing life. So when you are tapped in and tuned into that energy that you already are, magic happens.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's incredible. Perfect way to end.
It was so amazing. And I'll use the word again, magical, to be on again, Jane, and to work with you and help you get aligned.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And we'll put the links in the comments so people can reach out to Wayne. And
cool. I'll have some videos again that will eventually take people through a step-by-step, really simple and very powerful process of doing what we just did in relation to any one area. So eventually I'll have that out.
Yeah, it's incredible. Okay. Thanks, Wayne.
Cool. Okay, Jane.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.